Hi everyone. Hi. Oop. Sorry, I just had my phone on just for a second. I am just bear with me. Monitor and output. Oh. Can't hear myself. That's weird. Let's just go. Monitor off. There we go. I don't know what's happening, but anyway. Hi everyone, it's Chelsea. I am back with another live stream. I'm doing a different kind of live stream where I'm actually doing just an arts kind of one. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time. Also, yes, I am wet scrutiny art this, but it's going to be important because I've got to do it for this. This, you've probably seen it online. It's something that I've actually been doing for a while, so you can kind of see the two paintings behind me. You've seen them in other videos. But I am going to be doing, and I'll show you guys the image, is I'm going to be doing this image here. So it's a wonderful fairy that I've wanted to get for a while. So I'm going to be working on her. So starting to work on her today. She's a massive piece. She's 52 centimeters by 71, so 52 this way and then 71 centimeters long that way. She's a big painting. Not the biggest one I've done. So the biggest one I've done is my Avengers one, which I still have yet to hang up. I've got to order a custom frame for that, which is going to be quite expensive because that's a good like 1 meter by 1.1 or something like that. So it's a pretty big painting. This one's only about half the size, but it's still going to be just as much trouble. So that one over there, I don't have a photo of the one that's on my left, so that there. But that one on my right is actually this one here, this gorgeous one here. So she's got a little bit of dust in her, but you can't really tell, which is good because it matches the little white bits that are here. But I'm really looking forward to doing this. So this is what's the, you guys can't see me. That's actually the outline of where the diamonds, that's where these go. So all the rest of it is just the purplish kind of bits here that you can see, the actual printed background, and then this is what you actually work on. So it's a massive area that you actually do work on, which is amazing. Usually with these kind of things, I tend to do them for meditative purposes. So usually when I do these, I do them for maybe like 2 to 3 hours. I'll see how it goes for me. Obviously I don't want to get like a sore back from being hunched over, which is the issue when I first start out with these. I always do tend to hunch over a little bit. I'm going to work on probably doing maybe up to like 4 rows. I'm going to go row by row and see how I go. Because obviously it is a lot of space on here to fill. I closed down the little box for it. But I actually saw online, because I looked it up, this has, let's have a look. On the official Diamond Dotz website, it officially has 26,671 dots on this space. So that's a lot of little pieces of plastic on here. It also includes these little, like the bigger ones. So they're for the wings. They're just like little gems in the wings, but these ones I prefer. This is considered like advanced kind of work. And then, so that blue fairy is also advanced. The one that is on my left was an easy one. That was actually the first one that my mum ever got me, and what got me into doing these in the first place. I've made several for my mother because she really likes them. So I made her a Disney one, which is Mickey and Minnie, and it says "I love you to the moon," which was something that we used to say "I love you to the moon" back right around the world, and I'm still going. We actually still say that. So that was a reminiscent thing of her. I made her a pug one, which has actually been really good because now we can use it in memory of Frankie. I've made one for my best friend, so it's actually, I'll get it actually. It's actually right, actually I don't know if you guys can see that. It's over here. So what this actually is the scene from Harry Potter where they all first go into Hogwarts on the boats, which you can probably kind of see, but my best friend loves Harry Potter, so I made this for her. The dolphin that I also shared a picture of on Twitter, that's also for her because she loves dolphins. So I need to give these to her once I do them. There we go. But the fairy is just one for me. You're probably wondering why I've got my headphones on still. Well, for one, it kind of blocks out the noise I'm going to probably be hearing from the street. I have pretty good hearing. And secondly, I can still hear the alerts that you guys have on Streamlabs. So if anyone hosts or raids or follows, that way I'll still be able to hear it, thankfully. I'm going to have the chat on my phone as well. So that way I can still see it without having to struggle to look over there, because I can see over there, but I don't want to strain my eyes too much, because usually when I'm doing these live streams, I'm actually a little bit closer to my TV, which is where you guys are behind right now, because the camera's on my TV cabinet, so that's what the camera's attached to. So you guys are behind that. I'm usually a little bit closer to it. Which also means in turn I'm a little bit closer to my screen, which is over there. So I can read it from here. I just don't want to strain my eyes too much. Also, I got a hair on me. Oh God, I thought those problems would be going away when I cut all my hair off, and no, that didn't happen. So what I usually start with whenever I do these is I actually look at the rows and I have a look and see, okay, what symbols are in the row that I'm working on. So you guys can see from that little color chart there, we have 21 different colors. So the colors that are on this are and I've got all of my colors cut up in their separate bags, which is awesome. So I'm going left to right, well, left to right my way. So we have 10, which is here. That's a nice big bag there. We have the X's. Where are the X's? X's are 3. So again, another big bag. There's actually 2 of the 3s there, which is good. We have the equal sign, which is the 7. So again, big bag. This one is another, there's 2 bags for this. So sometimes you get just 1 bag for them because there's not many on the picture. Sometimes you'll get multiple bags because there's a lot on the picture. It just depends on what you're working on. We have K, which is 16, which is up here. So that's this one here. We have the little A symbol. So that is 5, which it's a full bag, but it's just the one, so that's good. We have capital L, which is 8, and that's up here. So that's there. Again, another full bag. It's just a single bag though. And then we have the straight across line, which is 6. So again, another pretty full bag. It's kind of a grey colour. A lighter grey. Full bag, just a single one. That's the A again. We have an arrow pointing to the left. So that's 15. 15's all the way up here. That's like a It's like a dark brown, like a chocolate brownie kind of color. It's actually really nice. A plus sign, which is 13. And that's, again, this is another brown color, so it's a little bit lighter than that chocolate kind of brown that 15 is. We have... So you can actually go across in these and actually see what you got next, because a lot of patterns like on the one line, they tend to repeat, which is really good. We have an arrow pointing upward, which is 10. We already have that. That's good. Capital H, which is 12. So this is like a maroon kind of color. Actually, it might be better for me to show it like this. So it's a nice like maroon kind of color. And there's just the one bag there. Just scanning across to see which has what. Okay, and if we go all the way over to the right-hand side, which is where I am now, we have a lowercase n, which is 9. So that's like a light grey kind of color. I just realized that you guys probably can't see because it's reflecting on the light. So I'm really sorry about that. And then you can kind of see the colors down here anyway. And then there is a, let's see. There's that little ramp, which is number 11. So we've gotten rid of like basically one whole row just from there. So that's like it's another like brown kind of color, but it's not as deep as the other ones. It's a couple shades lighter than 13. Oh, and as well, just because you have these colors like all in the same number kind of group, it doesn't mean they're going to be the same color, which is awesome. I actually prefer that. And that's all of the colors from here, from that first row. So that's just row 1. And I think that actually, it does carry over to row 2. And for the most part, it also looks like it carries over to rows 3 and 4. Actually, I think all of those might be identical. Yes, so rows 1 through to 4 seem to be pretty identical from what I can see. It's when you get to row 5 that it starts cutting into more of different colors. So I'm actually going to move this up just a tad. So I've got a little bit of breathing room. So I'm just moving that up towards you guys because I do tend to rest like my wrists on here. The good thing is I've got my chair. So I can actually rest my elbows on that. I'm not going to be like hunched over as much. I've also got to remember that I'm talking on this kind of thing. I'll actually get some music up while I do this. But I've got to remember that I'm also talking while I'm doing this. So this is going to be interesting because I don't usually do this while talking. When I haven't done this since the last place I lived in. So this is going to be really interesting because the last time I did this, my mum would come in and out, but she'd leave me alone for the most part. So it's going to be fascinating. I'll go with this one. So this is a few different songs in one. I'm actually going to link the music in so you can see it in the description below. But yeah, I think this is where we start. So as you can see, I've cut up all the bags sort of pre-portioned, but I have to cut open the individual bags, which is where the scissors come in. The other thing as well that I forgot to mention is that every time you do one of these, you get a little like pot of wax. Now this one's actually been used for every single project I've done because this is what I got with the original one right up there, and I've not opened another wax since then because I thought I don't want to waste it. So that's not what I'm going to be doing if I can avoid it. This should still, yep, that's still tacky. That's good. The wax takes a long time for it not to go tacky as well. But this, I figured it's going to be the perfect stream to just snuggle up, you know, get a cuppa, get a blanket if it's cool enough for you, you know, snuggle up in bed. We've got good music playing and we've got, you know, a lot of cool arts and crafts stuff to do. So I'm just, okay, good. Okay, good. I just want to make sure that it's all still tacky because it's also been sitting in the box for a while. So I'm actually going to move, I was going to say I'll move right to left, but I might go left to right as if like I'm reading a book or something like that. So let's see. So the color that we start with is 10, which is here. Oh, of course, I'm going like that way. Okay, cool. So the key to doing this is whenever you do these as well, whenever you do diamond dots as well, I originally made the mistake when I first started doing them. You can really only do this strategy if you have a small piece, is actually doing the colors by row and not necessarily by the color that you're doing, if that makes sense. So with some colors, especially, like I'll use this color for example, so number 10, this is going to be such a prominent color that's going to be scattered all around this artwork. So if I were to just do that color, I'd be exposing a lot of empty space on this work. So I want to avoid that where I can. I don't want to work color by color on this, because otherwise I'm going to end up drying out a lot of the adhesive that's on here, and a lot of them aren't going to stick then. And that's the biggest issue that I think people who are new to this might face, is that they might accidentally dry out their little bits of work. I do work color by color on the line that I'm working on, so I do go by lines. So I just tip out a decent amount, and the good thing is when I open them up like this, I can just pour everything back into that little hole there, which works out really well. And I just shake this just a bit, just to agitate it a little bit, and I am going to get started. This is, it's something that I tend to do, like I said before, for like meditative purposes. Although I haven't done it in a long time. I've been mainly doing like video games to kind of numb my brain, but that's, you know, I spend a lot of time on the computer for work, and to then, after, you know, a long day, go straight onto like the PlayStation or the computer. It's not very healthy for me to do, especially for my eyes, because I don't wear, I should be, I don't wear glasses at work. So, you know, between the artificial light and obviously like working from home, I've only got one window that's, see, the stuff has dried up on this one little bit. Oh no, it's dried up on this too. Shite. Okay, yeah, so the stuff's all dried up on this bottom bit here, which isn't good. I'm gonna have like empty space there, which really sucks. That's what I was worried about. But that looks like it's more like a manufacturing error rather than anything that I've done or not done, which is good for me. I can just go and get some of the adhesive myself, which is good because they sell that separately. And you'll find as well with a lot of this, I do touch the end of the stylus a lot. That's because I'm just readjusting the wax, because it tends to fall over the side of the stylus. So this way I don't lose any wax to what is happening here. Actually, I might need to use a tiny bit of wax. No, it won't adhere properly. That's right. Oh, and I think I missed the color. I did. So I need, I actually missed the color in this. I actually need 18 as well, which is this really vibrant pink kind of color. It's actually kind of cute. I don't mind that. It's actually kind of sweet, but feels actually, where's the non-stickiness to? Non-stickiness, that's, okay, so it's from, okay, so it's from about that equals sign to that X there. Okay, so it's not too big of an amount, and I think that's going to be like just the one-off, but it does kind of suck Did that happen? You try and sometimes sometimes things just come kind of broken. But you know what? There's a fix to everything. Which is good. So, that is that color, well, as much of that color as I can do for this row. Like I said, I'm going to go row by row. Because it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to go like 2 rows and then, you know, if I get really tired or whatever, and if I don't feel like doing, also a handy trick if you ever do this, is if you don't cut your bag open enough, you can just use your stylus to open up the bag a little bit. See? And then you just tip it in there and you tip them all out. It's a lot easier than what I used to do. So that one I'm going to put here because I'm not going to be doing too much. I'm then going to open the next one in the series, which is this one here. So again, I'm just working left to right, going through. So I hope you guys can hear the music as well. Also, I bloody hope the music isn't copyrighted either. It shouldn't be. I looked up royalty-free music, so hopefully it's not. But either way, I'll be linking the video. I'll be doing a little lick-a-roo. So I'm going to open up this just a little bit. Oh, as well, don't do the faux pas that I'm currently doing, which is leaving your wax exposed. That's why I've been able to keep this for so long, is because I never usually keep it exposed. So that's really important because you don't want this drying out. It's going to be your lifeblood of this project. So, yep, so the X is 3. So I'm actually going to dump out a decent amount. Oh, and one fell onto the... I always have the what would you call it? The plastic protector on top of it too, even on my finished works, so they don't get dust on them. You can clean these off, so we've done it with my ones, but you really should only be doing that when you are when you're just about to put into the frames. That way you don't have dust and dirt in the framed picture. Obviously with the blue fairy, the dust got on there at the same time. Mum kind of knocked dust onto it, which kind of sucked, and I've not cleaned it since, which I should. I haven't, but I should. So yeah, it's gonna be, I hope that you will enjoy this. It's gonna be a nice, relaxing little adventure. Not something I usually do. It's something that I've wanted to do for a while, but obviously this is the first time doing it. I'm really enjoying it. So to reiterate again, essentially what this is kind of like a color by numbers kind of thing, except it's sort of like a you have certain little dots or squares, because you can get square versions of these little diamonds as well, and you put them down in specific places. So where the symbol matches up, as you can see at the bottom there, where the symbol matches up on the painting, you put that color dot down. It actually says, so you can see there, it says like A01, A02, etc, etc, and it's got the little symbol at the bottom. So that symbol is what is on the painting, and then that number is what is listed on the bag, which is how you know where to put where. It blew my mind when I saw the ads on Facebook before I even started doing this. I was just like, how do you know where to put where? And then I started doing it for myself, and I figured it out. It's just like, oh, it's actually got it written plain as day on here. So this one is a fairy that I always wanted, and I actually originally ordered this when I got a couple of different art pieces at the same time, and I believe it came down from it came up from Melbourne, sorry, I should say. And the distributors called me and they actually said, hey, we're out of the red fairy. Do you want to have the blue fairy instead? And I said, yeah, sure, of course. And so they shipped that one out to me, and then a few months later, I ended up going onto another website, because I go onto a few different websites to get these, because distributors sell different things, and Diamond Dotz doesn't actually sell directly to people as far as I can tell. You've got to get them from like approved distributors. So this distributor actually had this one in stock, which was awesome. I guess the distributors I got the first one from, they hadn't actually realized they'd sold out, because it still said like available on the website. So I ended up getting this one, and then I got the dolphin one that is sitting right over here. I'd reach for it, but otherwise I'm going to knock my headphones off, and I don't want to do that. So I got those two together, and actually I think I got the Harry Potter one separate. But that one came pretty dang quick, if I remember correctly. So you can actually maneuver these around a little bit, which is good. So if you find that you've got a dot that's sort of in the wrong place, you can kind of have a bit of maneuverability there. But for the most part, where you stick it is where it stays, essentially. Okay, yep, that one's completely out. That one's completely out. That one's out. Hello, we got a sticker. Oh. There we go. Okay, so it's just a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's 19 spaces that can't be filled, but I mean, that's, in comparison to 26,000, that's pretty small. I don't even think that's like, what is it, 0.01% or something like that. It's a very tiny fraction of what this whole beautiful masterpiece is going to be. Which is going to be, it's fascinating. I've already been doing this for 27 minutes. I did a really long intro to this, but still, like, it's been an easy, 27 minutes to do, and it's very easy for me to lose myself in this, which is something where I think talking can kind of help me out to sort of reduce how much of this I do. Oh, well, I remember, so the original plan for the charity live stream on Saturday was meant to be that I was playing the Resident Evil 1 remake. I've actually changed my mind. I'm going to be playing Elden Ring, so I'm not going to be playing that tomorrow if I decide to do a live stream, because I've actually got, my booster shot was meant to be for today. It had to be rescheduled to tomorrow. So I'm probably going to do, maybe I might do more of this if you guys find that you really enjoy it. So I'll probably do more of this as a relaxing kind of thing. And then Saturday will be the charity live stream. So I'm going to be doing that from about 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So very early for me. But hopefully it should be a good time for a lot of people to come in. We're not going to be raising much. I'm going to be aiming for maybe like $200, $300 or something like that, because I've not done a charity live stream before. I don't know how they work. It's going to be through Tiltify. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be for, let me actually have a look at the Rise for the Disorder, I believe I'm doing this for. Let me just double check. Rise Above the Disorder, that's what it is. So that's going to be what I'm aiming for today, which I'm really looking forward to. I think this is going to be a really fun and exciting new chapter for the channel. I've always said, look, I've wanted to do charity live streams, and I've always thought, like, I don't have a big enough audience to do it, and I thought, shut up, Charles. Just do it because you're doing something good. Doesn't matter what numbers you have. So that is the plan. Also, you've probably seen like these little things I've got on the side. These are literally just to hold the spare diamond dots. Which I'll probably actually throw out a lot of these because you get a lot of spares. They give you a lot of spares, so that way, like, if you find any that like melted together or they're like broken or whatever, which you do get because obviously shipping and manufacturing and all that, they can't all be perfect, then at least you have plenty of spares. I actually ran out of one specific color on the blue one though. They didn't actually pack enough in there, which I found very interesting because it's never happened. It hadn't happened before then, and it's never happened since. So that was really fascinating to me that that's happened. You guys are probably noticing as well that whenever I lift up the paper, I'm actually exposing a lot of wax I'm not working on. And that's what I meant before by, with these bigger pictures, you can probably get away with it, the smaller ones, but with the bigger ones to not do, not plot down each color by its space, because especially with something like this, you've got a lot of one color sort of bunched up together in big spaces, which means you're going to leave a lot of, you know, when you lift up this paper, you're going to leave a lot of it exposed, which dries out the wax, which is why I can't do that 19 spot space. I've got to go and, that's going to frustrate me. I've got to go and get the adhesive. I've got to find where they sell it. So hopefully there's one in the city that I can just walk into on Saturday after the charity live stream. I'll probably go for maybe like 4 to 6 hours on the charity live stream. Work's been really kicking my butt as of late, so I don't want to push myself too hard, but simultaneously I want to get enough time out of it that we can all enjoy ourselves and we can just have some fun, raise some money, do a good thing. Oh god, I think all of the wax that was meant to go in this section went to this little spot here. I think that's what happened over here, because this is an absolute hot mess. So you'll get that. Look, these aren't perfect, but my god, I personally find them really fun to do. We all have our own little hobbies, I guess. The really fun thing about these as well is that you can actually get custom made ones. So a lot of distributors will actually, you can custom upload a photo and they'll actually do a Diamond Dots painting based off of it. How cool would that be? Just to be, to someone like, you give them a good quality photo, they go, like it would be a bit higher price, but they go get it done up as a Diamond Dots and then they do it for you and they send it to you. Like, how cool would that be? You'd probably, if I were to do it, I'd have to do it locally, probably to start off with, because these are really delicate, and this is just canvas that this is printed on. So, well, it's a fabric kind of canvas, so it's not necessarily good for long distance travel. And because you need to put it in some kind of box or a frame that's like weighted, I guess the workaround with it is that you could possibly like nail it to a piece of like plywood at these fabric bits and just do it that way, so that way the person who gets it just cuts it off of there, just with like a box cutter or something like that. I guess that would be a way around it. Yeah, it's really interesting to see what they do with these though. So they have like superhero ones, like Marvel and DC. They've got a whole bunch of like fairies, and they've got lots of animals, and they've got, they have a few Mozart paintings as well, which I've really liked. They've got Starry Night on there, which was one that I really want to do. Not Mozart, because Mozart's the music artist. Oh crap, I can't think of who it is. No, it wasn't Da Vinci. I don't know, I can't think right now. But it's got a lot of those really nice like old paintings as well, which is amazing. So I want to know as well, and this is Twitch and YouTube everything in between. What would be your favorite hobbies to do, like whether they be on your own or with friends? Something that just helps you unwind after like work or school, or just if you get overstimulated from being around too many people, or you know, even not being around enough people. Some people are the opposite to me and are very social. I'm not a sociable person at all. So I'm just curious about what you guys do to unwind. My mum has actually been, she's not doing it at the moment. I need to get her back into doing it, but she's been knitting a lot, which has been really good. She's so much better at it than me. She's actually started making like wall designs, the little square, like, rectangle things that hang down, and she even got the tassels on there. Just, it's gorgeous. I'm not a fan of them, so I didn't ask for one when I moved, but she really, really loves them. She actually hung her own one up, which I thought was adorable. She personally loves getting these from me. We can only, actually with the new place she's in, she can fit a few more, which is good. So I might look at making her one for Mother's Day or her birthday. Actually, I might do her birthday because her birthday's in September. Whereas Mother's Day for us, I believe, is in May. I think most of the world shares the same Mother's Day, but Father's Day for us in Australia at the very least is actually the first Sunday of September. So that's just a little interesting factoid, because I think Father's Day, it might be in America, is sometime in, I think it's April. It's different all over the world, but I think Mother's Day is like the one thing that's just like, yeah, we're all going to have this in common. So they put it usually on the same day, which is something that's kind of cool. So I am done with color number three, which is good. So I'm going to tip this all back in. Just listen to how that sounds. That nice little crunchy sound. Sometimes I love just listening to that sound, and I don't know why. It's like ASMR for me almost, with the crunchiness. It's kind of weird, but I love it. Also, this is like the perfect kind of live stream for people to like work on and all that, which is fantastic. I love it so much. Like, I love workers anyway, so that's the main thing. I was just thinking, like, why do I have a bunch of empty spaces here? Duh, there's no bloody, Dotz, no adhesive there to put on. So, yeah, like I said, you can buy the adhesive separately if you have any spots that you've missed, or if you want to make your own, which is really, really cool. It's actually something that can be done, because you end up with so many spares of these that you really can, if you want to, just bedazzle an art piece or just a picture that you have at home. You can probably get away with doing that. It's very cool. And they have a lot of like skin tone colors and all of that, which is really nice. So there's a lot of variety in the colors that you can get. My headphones are pulling like just a little bit, but it's not too much, which is good. Also with this, because I'm starting on the bottom row, the amazing thing about this picture is that the bottom row of the diamond dots is not the bottom of the picture. So the one that I did for my bestie Beck, which is, I showed you, the Harry Potter one, the bottom of that picture is actually the bottom of the diamond dots area. So the area where the diamond dots are, like that whole picture is just diamond dots. So I made a mistake on one of them, and one of them is now sitting a little bit further down than the actual border. So I've got to fix that up when I frame it, because I'm going to frame that one for her. Unfortunately, with the dolphin one, I might just have to help her out with getting a frame for it, because I mean that's going to be easy to find a frame for. It's a pretty standard size picture, but the dolphin one will be a bit of a different story, because it's a bit bigger than what the other one is. So that's the thing with diamond dots, is that a lot of them come in really like funky shapes, and they are kind of non-standard shapes. So with a lot of these, they're really smart about it. You actually they have it on a few of the sites where you can order diamond dot frames to suit the piece that you're doing. Now, unfortunately, with the Avengers one, I actually tried to look at a frame for that, but diamond dots do not sell a frame that big. So I've now got to go and get one custom ordered for that, which is going to cost me a little bit, which sucks, but you know, only so much I can do in that regard. So I knew what I was doing when I took on that masterpiece. So it's going to go in, I'm thinking about putting it on my wall behind my computer because I love it. And that way, like, I don't have any windows elsewhere in the unit that I'm in. So literally the only, like, window opening is this one right here where the curtains are. That's the only window I have, which is really, really interesting. And I don't know why, but oh yeah, see, some of these are being stubborn. What doesn't want to stick? Oh my goodness, it's just certain parts of this bottom section just don't want to stick on. There we go. Okay, so I've got 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 spots that can't stick down right now. That's okay. I mean, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Because I just had a feeling that one of these areas, because there sometimes can be one where, especially with these bigger pieces, where the paper didn't stick to the adhesive properly to protect it when it was rolled up, because they come rolled up when you get them in the box. And unfortunately, when that happens, the adhesive sort of melts off, I guess is probably the best term. Or evaporates, I don't know. It disappears into the ether, basically, is what is happening in this regard. So it's gone, it's kaput, it's I don't know what you would call it. But it's no longer there. So I've got to just do little spot kind of pieces, which, I mean, that's okay. I can deal with that. There's no way I've been live streaming for nearly 43 minutes. No way. That's what I mean. Like, this doesn't feel like a whole lot. I'm talking a lot more than I thought. But, you know, that's okay. I don't mind it. I like talking with you guys. And this is kind of like a really comfy podcast where you don't have like the sounds of like violence or other characters talking. It's just me and you. Like, it's just a comfy, cozy time. And it's better on my computer because it doesn't have to render like 6 different things at a time. It's great. It's only got to do like my voice and the camera and the picture that you've got at the bottom, and then the couple of pictures I had up, but they're gone now. So, you know, it's good. The computer doesn't have to worry either. It's kind of a break for the computer as well. Kind of sucks because the only time I used to use my computer for work, and then we got work laptops. So now my computer only gets used like when I play any games on it, which I don't usually game on my computer all that much. For the most part, I game on my PlayStation 5 because, you know me, I love my PlayStation 5. Or when I'm doing these live streams. So I wish I played on it more. I think it's because I use the actual screen that I've got with my computer, but that's because I need a second screen for work. So I've got both HDMI cables in there. One's running to my personal PC, and then the other one runs into my laptop. So that way I don't have to go and... I used to like switch the cords around, and I figured out like, oh, there's like 3 HDMI ports on this screen. I may as well just plug both computers in, and I just unplug these headphones and my little USB mouse. And my keyboard. So I just unplugged the USB from the mouse and keyboard and these headphones from my computer into the laptop and vice versa every time. Because I use these for when I'm working from home to call people and to be called and to be in meetings so people can hear my voice. And then obviously I use these, like the mouse and keyboard should be pretty obvious. I have to use it to use my job. And then I unplug all of them and I have these in so I can hear whenever like Streamlabs. I'm not using Streamlabs OBS, but whenever Streamlabs like alerts me to when you guys like follow or host or anything like that. Also, I've heard, please correct me if I'm wrong on this, but apparently Twitch is not sending out notifications of raids, I think it's raids, or hosts with less than 2 viewers, which sucks because there are those of us who raid even when we have like 0 people or 1 person, which is me right now. But it's like, why would they not alert the person being raided or hosted? It doesn't make any sense because I want to make sure like everyone gets seen. I want to say thank you to everyone who does that. You know what? For everyone who has done that and will do that, thank you. It's you know, it doesn't matter if you're raiding with 0 people or 100 people. It's always going to be appreciated. Always. It should be. The numbers should not matter. It's the fact that you're taking that little bit of time, even if you're just searching me out by name or by what I'm doing, to say like, hey, I think my people might like your content. It's something that's so sweet that it seems like a minor thing, but it's not. It's really not. As somebody who raids and gets raided, it's not a minor thing. It can help somebody like grow in their own little way on Twitch and all that here. So it's just a free thing to do and it's really nice. It takes like 30 seconds out of your stream time to do. So it's really, really simple, but it's really, really appreciated. And I'm so happy that I started to remember to raid people because I used to kick myself for not doing it. And now I remember basically every live stream. I think there's been like 1 or 2 where I haven't remembered. And I am really sorry about that. But sometimes we have off days. And those days are probably really off days. Actually, most days for me are off days. You know, there's a lot going on in this little noggin of mine that's, you know, it doesn't all have to be positive. We have a lot of down days, but you got to pick yourself up as well and dust yourself off. I should know I've actually started taking my medication again, which has been great. I should have been taking it this whole time, but I've only just started after being off it for like 2 or 3 weeks. I shouldn't admit that, but anyway, so there's been an uplift in my mood, which has been good, so got to keep on top of it. But I find that doing these, and this is actually a testament to how I'm feeling right now, is great for my mental health. And for the most part, I actually used to do these a lot when I was feeling really down. I just didn't want to talk, and my mum kind of, because this was when I was living with my mum, she kind of knew that this was like my safe space where I didn't want to be interrupted. She'd, bless her heart, she used to, we had a spare room in the place at so we used to live in this suburb called Sandgate, and we lived in a 2-story place, and she used to bring me up cups of tea without asking if I wanted one. Whenever I would do this, she would just bring up tea. She'd have a look in my cup and see like, oh, it's empty. She'd go downstairs and she'd bring me up a cuppa. It's a small thing like that, but it's something that I really appreciate. And now I've got to get my own tea because I don't have my mum anymore. But I know for a fact that if I was like doing this at her place, she'd be getting me tea. Mums are great. Actually, I haven't done one of these since I last moved out from her. So I'm going to text her after the stream and say, hey, I started with another diamond dot thing, and I'm going to show her the photo. This one is like chock-a-block. Holy moly. Okay. You got to be kind of careful with cutting into some of these bags too, because you can also like cut into an area that you don't want to, and then it ends up opening more than what you want it to. If that makes sense? So, come on. There we go. That opened up. There's a bit of wax on the side of it now. Ah, don't want that. Do not want that at all. So, oh, I'm up to the little A's. I've already done, like, I'm really happy with this. I've done a decent amount of this row already, and that's what I mean. There's a lot of colors where they just tend to repeat themselves, especially like the one line. You'll find that there's hardly ever any like singles that are together. So that's one thing that works out really well for these kind of things, is that it's similar to paint by numbers, right? They have a lot of spaces that kind of like group together. But with this, it's tiny little dots, so you get to see the progress of how it goes. I unfortunately, and this was my faux pas, is that I thought I had my second camera still with me, but I actually took that up to my mum's place. She only moved last week, but the place that she was meant to, she moved last Friday actually. The original place that she was in, I actually brought it up there over the Christmas period when I went up to see her. That was when my dog Frankie passed away, unfortunately. And I bought my PlayStation 4 up there and my recording equipment just in case. And I bought back the Elgato capture card, but I didn't bring back the second camera. I actually kept that up there with her. Oh, and my spare microphone. So that's up there with her, and I thought like, oh, that'll be perfect. I've got two cameras, so I can have one like pointing on the artwork and pointing at all the cool stuff on my table. Also, I've got Baby Groot, well, Grogu, who is, my mug's in the way. He's right there. I've got my friend's, little snow globe. It's for Central Perk. And then I got Groot, who was sitting right here. I've got this Groot, and I've got one of the ones where it's like the huggy, like the old snap bands that we used to have back in the day. It's like one of those, but it can snap onto your arm. And I got my little plant right there, which is thriving in this place, by the way. I didn't think it would be. Usually with most plants, I admittedly have like a black thumb when it comes to most plants, but this one has just been, because it survives on water, like heaps of water, and then just like filtered light. So this apartment has actually been perfect for it. It's got so many new shoots coming off of it. I'm so proud of myself. I'm able to look after something that's not myself. I mean, I know I've not been looking after myself properly anyway, but still, it's been amazing to look after something that's not me for a change. So I'm working on this is my 5th color now. I believe this is my 5th color, which is also just happens to be number 5. So yay, it's my lucky number as well. And I'm working my way across. I've got 3 more spaces with this color, and I'll tip them back into the bag. I'll move on to the next one. And that's what this is. I tend to find this, like, even it's just the process of going through this systematically, I find this is a little weird for me, but I find processes kind of relaxing, if that makes sense. Like, there's some things at work, especially with going into next week. Our company's undergoing a big merger. So that happens from Monday. So tomorrow's going to be like the big day. We've got to get everything done. But it's been good to have like processes for most things, especially when I'm learning in this new team I'm in. You know, I've only been in this team this is my 4th month, but I've had to help out my old team because they've been so under the pump because of what's happening. So I finally had a chance to be with this team, and I'm loving it because I've got all these processes to learn everything I'm on. And I mean, some of the stuff I already knew how to do anyway, which helps if you guys have ever gone for like a secondment in, or like a slightly higher level than the job you were in. It helps if you've got some prior knowledge, but you know, sometimes you don't, and sometimes you need processes, and that's the whole point of them being there, is so you can use them and you don't ask too many questions. Even though I've been really tired over the past few weeks, I think we're all just mentally exhausted, but I've not had any good like coffee that I can have. So I usually have like the sachet coffees, so like the premix ones that Nescafe have, or I've been having was it Robert Tim's, the Kenya style mocha, but I've got to have them with Coffee Mate vanilla pods, so they're like this big, but they're like milky, creamy kind of stuff. Coffee whitener, and I've not had any coffee whitener, so I tried to have a coffee the other day with that mocha Kenya style stuff, and it was so bitter it nearly made me sick. I had almost the whole cup of coffee, but my god, it was not good. Because tea wasn't waking me up that morning, so I thought, oh, I'll have a coffee. And it was a bad mistake. I shouldn't have done it. But, you know, I finally got them all now. So I actually got my shopping delivered because it's been raining over the last few days. Pretty bad storms, actually. So up north especially, so like the Cairns kind of area, they always get a lot of like tropical storms when it's our rainy season, which is now. But it's been bucketing down here as well. Like they're actually saying like flood warnings for basically like all of southeast Queensland, which is insane. And I think like New South Wales and all that too are meant to get them. But hopefully if there are any like bushfires around like there were at the start of 2020, if there are, I haven't heard of any massive ones, but it's Australia. There's basically always fires to put out. Hopefully this douses a lot of them and doesn't harm any wildlife or any homes or hurt any people, because as well, I'm kind of doing word association with this, but they're kind of also important. I found out the other day, it was announced by Australia Zoo that, I saw it on the Australia Zoo post, that apparently koalas are now considered an endangered species. And considering the fact they're basically native to Australia, and I think they're only here, that's a bit of a problem, because they're cute, soft, like teddy bear kind of things. You know, they're adorable. But as well, a lot of their homes are being ripped down due to like deforestation and bushfires, and it's a horrible environmental impact that I think a lot of people aren't thinking about, which is why we need to sort of try and go as digital as possible to avoid like printing off paper, and you just in general need to avoid being an idiot and not starting fires. Do you guys remember the big, if you haven't seen it, look it up, the big what they call it, the I think they called it Black Friday, the massive Victoria bushfires. They probably happened maybe like 10 years ago or whatever. It was something ridiculous, but apparently it started because it was in Victoria and it spread to basically all of Victoria and then some New South Wales. And I think it was so, if I remember correctly, we could actually see the smoke from up here in Queensland. Now, Victoria's got New South Wales between us, and New South Wales is not a small state. It's a pretty big state. And I mean, in terms of like landmass, Victoria's actually not small either. It's pretty big. It's one of the smaller states, but it's still pretty large. So the smoke was insane. They had to get people basically all out of the state because it was that bad that people couldn't breathe. But apparently it was caused, if I remember correctly, by some guy. He had a barbecue or something like that, which is how a lot of these start. I can't remember if people were saying that he might have done it as like a joke and then it got out of hand. I can't remember. I don't want to say it. I feel like I remember that being a rumor, but again, I don't want to say. I believe, regardless or not, that he got charged because obviously you've just sent a country into a panic. Yeah, the lesson of it, don't be an idiot. It's the same thing with you find it, I see it online. I've never understood it personally. The whole like gender reveal parties for babies. I mean, you see people like doing stupid things like setting off bottle rockets and all that, and then it causes fires, and you think, no, what do you think was gonna happen? You know, it's ridiculous. And it's not like the baby's there technically for it. Like, the baby doesn't give a shit. And all you're doing is just spending a lot of money on to say, like, we're having a boy or we're having a girl. You know, it's just weird and sort of it's an excuse to have a party where unfortunately the mother can't drink, which I think is a little bit unfair to her. Like, if you're gonna have a party, do like a knitting circle or something like that. Have everybody like crochet outfits for the baby, and then we can say like, oh, it's a girl or it's a boy. You know, that would be fun. Do a knitting circle. Have the men join in too. Knitting should be for everyone. I personally have tried it and I can't do it, but knitting should be for everyone knitting should be for everyone who can do it. You know, we all have our hobbies. Let's just do a hobby circle when we do gender reveal parties. Or that there's a neutral color that you use, and then maybe like the mother and the father are off like making their own little outfit for the baby, but nobody can see what color it is, and then they reveal what the color is, and it's just like, oh, you're having a girl or you're having a boy. I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be a fun thing to do. I'm just doing like word association and it's so funny right now. I don't know why I'm like this, but I am. I feel like that's also, I sort of do it when I'm in a happy mood as well. It's not a good thing that I tend to lose my focus when I'm happy, but I do. Again, it is kind of odd that that's a thing that I do, but you know, it's what a little Chelsea like me does best, and it's very odd, but it is. So oh my gosh, it's been 1 hour and 2 minutes. That's actually kind of insane. I'm gonna tweet out the live stream. I didn't visit the... Oh, it's because I didn't cancel my appointment from last time. Okay. I was thinking, like, why did I get an email from my doctor's office saying that I went today? It's because I didn't cancel the original appointment, but they've booked me in for the booster tomorrow. Live on twitch.tv/ I type in Chelsea Loves Games so much that my phone just auto-fills it in now. It's great. Diamond Dotz. Arts and crafts. With relaxing. There we go. I actually love doing this. This is nice and relaxing for me. Some people might not think it is, but I think it is personally. I really enjoy this. I feel like this is something that I could definitely... My fringe is going all over the place. I have a hair appointment tomorrow as well, which is why I probably won't be streaming. I may not stream tomorrow. I don't want to promise that. I got a hair appointment as well tomorrow, so I'm going to get my hair all cleaned up, get it all trimmed, make it look all nice, because my fringe is getting a little bit out of control. And I want to cut this back to where it was, because it's grown out a lot in like the 6 weeks that I've not had my hair cut. That's the thing about my hair, it grows really quick, so it's yeah. God, I love that music. I'm a sucker for piano though. I'm an absolute sucker for piano. If you give me like piano, basically anything, I'll just sit there and listen to it. You can't dissuade me from not listening to piano. It's such a beautiful instrument. It's the same with Like, you can get some things that are really nice in, like, acoustic guitar. I tried learning acoustic guitar. It didn't work out well for me. I think my mum's still carrying that acoustic guitar around. Or we might have gotten rid of it at a curbside pickup. I'm not sure. But, yeah, that was something that I tried to do. It didn't work out well because I tried learning it in high school for music class. Because we basically had to do a whole bunch of instruments that we had to play. I couldn't pick up on drums, so my music teacher just gave me a C as like a pass for it. She could see that I was trying. I just couldn't do it. And piano I was okay at. I got the piano down okay once I got the rhythm. It's so many chords on a piano. And I don't have the rhythm to do drums, so I really struggle with like hand-eye coordination. And when I've got to use my feet as well, I really struggle. Because half the time my brain, I don't know if anybody else gets this, but my brain is thinking like 2 steps ahead of what my hands do. So, you know, I need to slow down my brain, and something like this, it really helps to slow down my brain. And just sort of think, like, be in the moment, not overthink everything, because that's my issue, especially when I was, like, trying to play the drums. I'd overthink what I needed to do, which is a real, just in general, a life problem for me. I've gotten better at it, which is good. I think that's part of the reason why I've been able to sort of dial back my craziness as I've gotten older, is because I'm able to sort of take a breath. And, well, not my craziness, probably more my emotions I'm able to dial back and not think as much, but it doesn't work with the hand-eye coordination. It never does. Originally, I was actually, like the doctor said, oh, you should get her onto video games because that'll give her good hand-eye coordination. It kind of did the opposite. It rotted my brain. But, so, my parents, my mum and my stepfather, yes, the arsehole stepfather, actually got me originally an original Xbox, and I didn't take to it. So they said, oh, there's another game station that you can get. So I assume they just traded it in and got me a PlayStation 2, which to this very day I still have, and it still works like a charm. And you've even seen me play on it on live streams. That's what I was playing the Barbie game on. So it's served me well for 20-something years now. Yeah, probably like 21 years or whatever it's been. So it's been just my rock throughout my life, and I'm so happy that it's still around. I probably need to look at getting another controller for it, because I think I used to like not take care of controllers very well, and discs. I got rid of a lot of discs because a lot of them were scratched and like skipping and freezing. I used to leave them like outside the case. Usually like face down, so the picture was on the bottom of the surface that it was on. And then the actual like where the code is, because I never understood why discs were a thing. The code is written on the disc apparently, which is bizarre to me. I don't know if they still do that, but apparently that's what it was. That's what I've heard anyway. So the code was written on the bottom of the disc, and so that would cause it to skip and freeze and all of that, and it's just bizarre, especially with how far the technology's come. It's just like, whoa, they can fit all that code onto that tiny disc. Holy moly. Although in saying that, they have patches for everything now, so they probably don't do that as much anymore, because obviously you can get patches for everything now, and they've got digital releases. So I've actually got, so fun fact, I've got the disc version of the PlayStation 5. I've only got one physical game for it though, and that's Spider-Man Miles Morales. So because I got that with my PS5, I actually pre-ordered that with my PS5, so I've got one physical game, and the rest are all digital. So that's been my story. So where am I up to? I am up to the little ends, which is good. What's 12? Oh, I've got to do H. No, that's right. I've got to do H. capital H. I was just looking at Grogu, and that's him there. So he's got his cookies. So an interesting story with Grogu. So we have in our team, well, the original team I'm part of, not the one I'm secondment. I've got the secondment for. We have a lot of people that are nerds in our team. Well, nerds, geeks, whatever you want to call them. And we do a Secret Santa gift swap, but you can steal from another person. So we drew out of a hat to who was going to go first, and we got our number orders and all that. And I got first, which wasn't good because I knew that whatever I was going to get was probably going to get stolen from me. I actually got and wrapped it, and it was a pop figure, much like this one, that was for the child. This was before season 2 came out, so this was not last year, the year before, so 2020. And my buddy Adam stole it from me, and it kept getting stolen. It got stolen a couple of times. I was upset. I was very upset. I ended up with a tiny USB keyboard. It's in the shape of a leaf blower. It's a cleaner that you just plug into a USB slot, and it will blow air so you can clean the little cracks. It's in the shape of a leaf blower. It's very cute. I still have it, actually. I use it, but my buddy Adam stole that from me. And then this year, this little fella came up, and again, I got Grogu again, like one of the first people. I think I was like because we have a lot of people in our team, so I was maybe number 10 or 11 or something like that. And I picked out Grogu, and then my friend Karen stole it from me, and then my other buddy Wes, he actually stole it from her. And so I ended up, what I actually did when I got my gift stolen is I picked out a new present, and I actually got, sorry Groot, I got this, and I got a couple, I just got this, because Trish was giving out chocolates. So I got the snow globe, and I was just like, I didn't get Grogu, but I got the snow globe, which I was very happy about getting the snow globe, because I mean, I haven't watched Friends in years and years and years, and even then I'm not, like, I know the show, I'm not too big of a fan of it, but I mean, you know, sometimes you are, sometimes you're not. But I was just like, oh, I'm really happy because I remember, like, Central Perk. Like, I always loved whenever the show was on that set and all that. And so I was really happy. And a few of the other girls, so there's Elnaz, who is still on maternity leave. She just had her second bubby. She was on maternity leave, and then who was the other one who got? It was Elnaz, myself, and Liz. That's right. It was Liz was the other one who our gifts got stolen from us, and we had to get other ones. So Adam stole my original Grogu from me back in 2020, which, you know, I still haven't forgiven him for. Well, I have now. But he gave Liz her bottle of, there was like Jack Daniels that were in like the little tiny bottles. He gave her them that he stole from her. So he ended up with nothing. Dan P, because we have a couple of Dans in our team, he gave Elnaz the bottle of wine that he got from her. Because he wasn't sure if she would drink it, but he gave it to her anyway. Worst comes to worst, her husband can have it. He gave that to her, so he ended up with nothing. And Wes gave me his Grogu, so he ended up with nothing. And it's just like, they're such sweethearts, aren't they? It's just, they didn't have to. I just thought it was very sweet that they did that. So, you know, lovely, beautiful people in our team. And that was like, we have, like I said, we have about 20-something people in that team alone. There's nearly 30 of us in that team, which is kind of insane. The team I'm in currently has maybe like 18 people, including our leader. So it's a lot of people to manage, and hats off to our team leader in that team, who is amazing. He's also like roughly my age too, which I like because I'm able to connect with him a bit more. He's done an amazing job, and we had a photo. So we've had, in my time being with the company, which again, I still won't say its name, but in my time being with the company, so I've been with them since the 11th of February, 2019. So it's been 3 years. We've had 3 team leaders in this one team. So we had Mal, who had been the team leader for quite a few years. I think it'd been like 5 or 6 years. And then we have Michael, who took over from Mal. And he was our leader up until recently, actually. He got a permanent position in another role. And then we have Fraser, who he's got a secondment to be our team leader. He was actually in place of Michael, who got a secondment over to the other team. He's now been made permanent. So hopefully we get to keep Fraser. I like him a lot. He's really, really cool. Very nifty and very accepting. I think he kind of needs to be because he's gay. But anyway, like, he's just... it's nice to connect with someone who's roughly my own age. Do you know what I mean? There are perks to having a nicer... obviously there's perks to having a nicer boss. To having a boss that's closer to your age, I guess, is... Or a bit on the younger side, I guess. Because I think they're more open to change. They're more agile. Let's face it, as we get older, we do get stuck in our ways a little bit. I mean, I'm basically... My mum will tell everyone I am a pretty stubborn person about what I want. That's why I never used to go out when I was younger, because I was very, very stubborn about me not wanting to go out. And then I made friends and started drinking and, you know, all that good stuff. I mean, you guys know me. I don't drink often anyway, so it's not worth it. There's only one for this bit. So usually when there's only one for these bits, I just try to tip out just one in my hand. Can I do it? Yeah, I did it. All right, that's good. That's good. That's what I wanted. So there's only one for this and then one for the other color, which is awesome. So, because there's no use in tipping out a whole bunch when you just have to put them straight back into the bag. And then there's this one. So this is going to be one row done, aside from that bit, which is frustrating me. But I think, all in all, this is looking pretty good. And it's taken me, I'd say, about an hour and 10 minutes, because I don't think I started until maybe like the 7-minute mark, thereabouts. But this has been really, really fun, and I get to talk. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I did not cut this low enough. I didn't cut it low enough. Okay, that's an issue. That is an issue that I have now corrected. Okay, there we go. I hate when I do that, because there's a little, where the plastic is seamed off, you can either hit the seam, or you can actually get like the air pocket in the bag. Also, my back is beginning to get very, very stiff. So again, this is just one little one. So this is a nice kind of like coralish pink kind of thing. But it's got a lot of, some of them you'll get have more of a muted sparkle. And then you get ones like this, where it's actually kind of like glitterized on the top. So how Diamond Dots work essentially is that they're made of plastic, but it's molded in a way where they're kind of a hexagonal kind of thing. So think of like how a fly sees. So how it's got all the little shapes in there. I'm sorry, Mum. I'm sorry. I'm live streaming. I can't. I'm sorry. Let me text her. Live streaming. Sorry, Mama. And she's gonna text me back saying, "Oh, that's okay." She knows, like, usually when I press the hang up button, like, right away, that I'm live streaming. So I'm gonna get a text from her, like, any moment now, being like, or probably in like 10 minutes if she's driving home. Just say like, no, don't apologize. Don't be sorry. What does it say? That's okay, Bubba. Thought you might have been. Yeah, see, I've been live streaming enough that she's just like, whenever I hang up right away, she's just like, oh, I thought you were live streaming. Okay. I gotta give her my schedule of when I'm live streaming, because that way she knows. So I don't keep her in the dark. So that is one entire row, aside from the elephant in the room, which is this tiny little bit here. That is done. So that, I mean, that gives you a good indication of how long I spend doing this. Obviously, I'm talking a little bit more, and I had a bit of an intro, so it's taken me a little bit longer. But, I mean, I get into the zone with this. It doesn't feel like I've been going for nearly an hour and 20 minutes, but, I mean, I have. So, it's the X's again, which is 3. Oh, actually, this one's starting with the X's. It didn't start with that last time. It started with the little, I guess that's probably more of a tent kind of shape that is. So, yeah, this one starts off with the X as the first symbol on this row, which is kind of cool. So I'll get 2 rows of this done, which I'm actually very happy about. I might go a little bit longer with this live stream, so I might sort of verge into maybe like 3 or so hours on this. Obviously I need to at some point have food, because even me being a skinny mini, I still get pretty hungry. So, and I don't think I've eaten all day, which I know isn't good, but I'm gonna have, I'd have some mac and cheese for dinner, or I'll have chicken Kiev and veggies. I might actually do that, because that's a bit healthier, and at least the veggies are just, I pop them in the microwave. So chicken Kiev's what I got to put in the oven, which works out all right, because I don't put the veggies in the oven. They're microwavable only. Oh, I think this brand might be. That's how I tend to do my veggies, because where my oven is, it's on top of my cooktop. So I'd have to move my cooktop. I'd have to move my air fryer off of the cooktop and do that at the same time. But then that overcrowds my my bench, because I don't exactly have a lot of space to do anything on my bench. So I'd rather just use my air fryer. And my microwave is also it's a microwave oven, so it's a convection oven, but the oven bit doesn't really work. It's kind of shitty like that. It's meant to be like a good brand, but I think it's old is the issue, so it doesn't necessarily work the way it's meant to. It doesn't heat up properly, which is kind of a problem, so I've just been using my air fryer. I was trying to use that microwave oven, and as an oven, it doesn't work. As a microwave, it's great, but then again, it's hard to find a microwave that isn't good, because they're all pretty good in their own way. So, at least for this one, I don't have as many buttons to push, which is good. And the door just opens without a button. The one that Mum has, you got to push a button to open it. Not with this one. You just pull it open and push it closed. Even though I think she got really frustrated, because I used to just close the microwave door just by pushing it in with the old one. I think that might have broken the door on its hinges. Not that I'll ever admit that to my mum, but still. Why am I... God. I started talking about food and then I go into microwaves. Like, that's where my brain goes, people. It's why I go into tangents all the time on live streams, and why I can never finish a sentence. I just do associative wordplay, which I don't think it's inherently a bad thing. I mean, this is something where I think I'm allowed to sort of lose my focus a little bit. But, you know, it's a bit weird. At least I'm, like, still talking, even though I can feel my voice starting to go just a little bit. Which means I'm going to have to probably, like, rock up tomorrow if I've got a sore voice, being like, I swear, it's not COVID. I was just talking a whole heap yesterday. That's all it was. So, it's like when I was... We had, a couple weeks ago, we had a party on... They call it the Yacht Club. And you can basically go for parties on boats around, like, the Brisbane River. And we went on one of these. We actually organised one of these trips for as many people as we could to go on. So we all got the $40 ticket and just went to like the general area. And there was like 200 people on this boat. It was insane. It was so packed. There was like 6 different parties going on. There was like a bachelorette party. It was our party, which was celebrating like 3 birthdays in the same month, like really close together. There was like 3 other different parties on that little 4 outside the 2 I mentioned. And then there was like a private party that was in the VIP area upstairs. It was insane. And I got so overwhelmed with everything that I just had to... One of my buddies actually, we went to the bar that's around the back. So there's like the toilets behind the bar. Like it's just a little space behind the bar. And then there's like the kitchen or the galley, I guess you would call it, on a seacraft, sea vessel. And then there's like this little bar behind that. So it's got 2 tables and a few chairs, or maybe like 3 tables. But it's so weird because there's no like wall that goes directly across both sides, like where the bathrooms are. But you can't hear the music that's blaring at all, which is great. It helped me calm down a lot. And my friend and I were just talking. So we were talking about like Star Wars, and we were talking about just like our friends and how drunk they were probably getting. And then we met like a couple of drunk people came up to us. One of the girls, I feel like her name was like Anna or something like that. It was something that started with an A. And then there was a guy who had just been like made friends with her that night. Obviously like very, very gay, very out there. You could see. And I ended up buying him a drink because he was joking around. I was just, whenever I say I'm going to buy somebody a drink, I do mean it. So I just bought him the same can of drink that I was drinking, which was a lime and soda drink. It was like 4% alcohol. It was barely anything. And I was just sipping on that basically throughout the whole night. So I wasn't even like... I'd had a vodka and Coke earlier, but even then, like I held off from when we sailed off to actually have it because there were so many people at the bar that I was getting really overwhelmed. So I thought, no, I'm going to go up and get my drink. So I had that. I sipped it really slowly. I actually sat on the... So there's seats that are on, like, they face the river. I actually sat on one of them. I was... Where my back was facing, my back was to where our group was sitting anyway, so I could still, like, hear them. But I ended up making some friends with some girls who were at another party. And one of them came up to me and we just started taking, like, random photos together. I wasn't drunk at this point or anything. I'd had one drink and that was it. And even then, like, I had that slowly. Usually with vodka and Coke, I'm just basically, like, downing it. But I didn't this time. I actually just sipped it. I took my time with it. So I was just like, oh, I don't want to get drunk tonight. So I didn't, which was great. So I did that. And she was tipsy. She wasn't overly drunk. She was tipsy. But my God, she was so nice. And she started, like, taking photos of me, tried to make me smile because I was obviously, like, really down and upset. Like, she was so sweet. And I hope I get to meet them again. I probably won't. I think that was just a one-time kind of thing. But still, it was really nice. She made me smile, and her 2-piece outfit, I thought it was a dress at first, was really, really pretty. So basically, all in all, the boat was kind of fun, just not my kind of scene. There was a lot of people, and I got very overwhelmed. It's kind of like how when we used to go cobbing, like, before COVID happened, which I think we need to again very soon. Because we're all going to be boosted very soon. We used to go to places like Tomcat and all that, and I kind of like it because, yes, it's noisy, but at the same time, like, if I'm in the mood to go to a club, like, I'm in the mood. I'll sit down. I'll usually just sit down with my friends and just talk with them. But it's that kind of thing where if I want to get up and go to the bar or, you know, have a little bit of a dance, and I will. I don't dance all that much. That's not really my scene. But Tomcat especially, they have a really cool, like, section for, like, the pool tables and all that. So that's really fun to play. I'm terrible at playing pool. You wouldn't think so with the fact that my mum, my stepfather used to own, like, we used to have a pool table way back when I was, like, 3. I would have been about 2 or 3, and I used to play a lot. But so we had a pinball machine, but we had a pool table, but we also had a pinball machine, and it used to be like an 80s roller skate, like roller derby kind of one. And I remember the tune used to go rock and roll the game. Don't ask me why I remember that. I just do. It was my strongest memory. I've kept the pinball skills. The pinball skills have not left me. The pool table skills did. I'm not good at pool at all. I went out on a date with a friend of mine, because we saw each other a couple of times, and we went to a pool place. It's in the city, and I was so bad at it. And there's one down at there's a pool place down at, it's this, how do I describe it? It's called Strike. It's kind of it has laser tag, it has bowling, it has pool, escape rooms, a bar. It's kind of like a one-stop shop if you want to have fun and be a kid again. It's that kind of thing, and it's really fun to go to. Highly recommend it. But I ended up doing bowling and playing pool at the same time. So there was a guy and I who were playing pool, and we also had like a bowling game going on. So there was like 6 of us, so it was taking a while to get to our turns, and we were like back to back in terms of our turns. So it would be 2 people would go, then he would go, then I would go, then like 2 other people after us. So it was taking a while. I'm bad at bowling as well, so I'm lucky if I can even get like 5 pins down in both bowls that I get the chance to do. It's horrible. I usually get gutter balls. We need to make it a thing where the gutters are actually okay and that we don't get judged for them, because that's the only way I'm usually going to knock pins down, is by having the gutters up. I'm so unbelievably bad at it. It's basically all just gutter balls. But we were playing pool, and every single time I kept losing my shot because I was very, very drunk at this point. And he kept saying, no, you got to go again. You got to hit the ball. And he kept doing it just until I hit a couple of the balls, or until like I pocketed a ball. And then he clapped for me and he gave me a hug and all that. And I was just like, oh, you're so sweet. I don't think I ever got his name though. Like, I've seen him around a couple of times at the friend stuff that we've done, but I don't think I've ever gotten his name. He's really nice though. He's very kind, very sweet. It's been an hour and a half. This has been a pretty fun live stream. I hope this is just like a really relaxing time for all of you. Certainly like one that I never thought that I would do. I'm very happy I'm doing it though. This is kind of like I've said it before. I actually said it earlier, but it's just like, it's kind of like a podcast kind of thing. You guys get to hear me talk, and hopefully I'm not blowing out the microphone. And I get to just do a nice piece of artwork. This is actually going to be, so this one's for myself. I'm going to have this hanging up on this wall where I have the other ones. I'm sort of deciding if I want it to go in this space here, or if I want to go closer into the hallway. So I'm still tossing that up. I'm not sure what I want to do regarding that, but this is going to take me a long, long time to do. I've got plenty of time to figure out what I'm going to do when it gets to that point, which is good. So I like to have that little bit of choice in where I'm going to put these, because obviously, I want the sun to be shining on them. It's not the same if you don't have the sunshine. I mean, the overhead lights work really well too. But there's just something about the sunlight that just makes it even more beautiful than what it would be otherwise. Ooh, that was a nice crack with my back. It was a really nice crack, actually. I feel like this one has a lot more, like, bunches together than what the previous row did, which is very good for me. But this is what I mean, like, I hunch over and then my back gets sore and it's just, all kinds of funky. I used to have a different chair for this too, so this one's a lot more supportive than what my other one was. Those ones as well were just like standard, just living room kind of chairs. So these ones are actually somewhat supportive, which is good. Well, this chair, I shouldn't say these because it's not duplicates, it's only the one. But this chair is like somewhat supportive for my back, which is really good. It doesn't help that I'm like hunching. I know that's bad posture, but you know. I'll actually do the 18 that's over here just because that's kind of sitting there on its lonesome. It's not really doing anything, so... Oh, I got 2 out by accident. Let's go with that one. Pop that back in there. I'll also do the little ramp color that you can see there. The one with the symbol with the ramp. It should be number 11 that you can see there, because that's, I only got 1 space on here too. So, oh it is, it's number 11. Okay, cool. So let me just get that one. I do think though with this, it's such a waste of plastic. I would love, because I have a feeling like these can't be recycled, which is a real shame. I wonder if they can make these out of recycled plastic and have it be recyclable. Because how amazing would that be to have an art form that is made from recycled plastic that is then recycled back into, you know, being art. That's what I would like to do. Hey, Diamond Dots, can you guys do that? Can you make these out of purely recycled plastic and then, you know, have it be that if the artist wants it to be recycled later on, then they can hand them in, like scrape all the dots off and then just recycle them again. I think that would be really nifty, because there's so many plastics that you can't recycle, which boggles my mind, because it should be that all plastics can be recycled. Isn't that kind of the point? But there's so many chemicals that go into things, and there's chemicals that can and can't break down certain things, and it's a whole thing. You know, it's a whole vicious, endless cycle that we put upon ourselves, and now we need to live with those consequences, unfortunately, and try to reduce what we do to the environment. And I'm kind of talking out of my butt right now. Not physically talking out of my butt, but do you know what I mean? I'm kind of like running out of conversation topics, which is not good. I mean, I've been talking for nearly like, what is it now? Nearly 2 hours. It's been an hour, nearly an hour 40. So, you know, that's a long time. And even when I do like Let's Plays, I don't talk all this much. Because you can also get away with like letting the game talk with you and letting the sound do its thing. And then if you concentrate, you can kind of get away with like, oh, they're focusing on the game. I can't do that right now. That's probably going to be a lot of what Elden Ring is. So Elden Ring is made by FromSoft, who have made Dark Souls, like the Dark Souls series, and Bloodborne. I have Bloodborne, and I have one of the Dark Souls games. I can't remember which one. I have not played much of them, which is a real shame. I need to. I played a little bit of, I think I played a little bit of Bloodborne, and I got past it would have been Dark Souls, because whichever one has the dragon, or the dragon kind of creature when you're in the dungeon at the beginning, I eventually got past it, because it took me like an hour to figure out what I had to do, and I finally got past it. And then by accident, I specifically remember that I attacked a random NPC in the next area that you get flown to, And I thought, like, why are they chasing after me now? Like, I'm really sorry. And I thought, like, when I died, I was just like, oh, when I die, they're going to leave me alone. It's going to be like any other video game. And it was like, nope. And I made a massive mistake, and I put the game down because I got so upset with myself. I was just like, you fucking idiot. So I'm going to have to put up with that on Saturday when we do the charity live stream, that if I attack an NPC and hello, and I shouldn't have, then I'm going to be screwed. Dip and Run. Oh my gosh, that's an amazing name. Hello. Hope everybody's doing well. This is a nice, like, chilled stream, but I figured I'd do something new. My back is still stiff, but that's okay. I can put up with the stiffness. That's fine. I've been using my acupuncture mat a bit more. I did it last night for like 2 minutes, like barebacked, and that was the worst decision I've ever made. So note to self, put clothes on when I do it. So it was literally like 1,000 tiny little needles sticking into me, because that's essentially what it was. Thank you for following. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful time here. I'm usually a gaming live streamer, but I thought I would do some arts and crafts today because I really love doing diamond dots, and this was, I need the relaxation. I really do, and this whole thing has been like a podcast and me talking to myself, which has been actually quite relaxing. So I invite everyone who's watching, I said at the beginning, but to anyone who's watching, grab like a blanket, grab a cuppa, grab some comfort food if you want to. Just relax. Even if you can't hear that music that's going on in the background, it's probably very, very soft, but you know, put some relaxing music on of your own, and you can hear my voice as I work through this, or maybe you're doing your own hobby as well. I don't know, but just have a relaxing time. That's what this stream is here for today. It's here for everyone to be nice and relaxed and hearing me talk absolute nonsense. And I think basically that's what people follow and subscribe for, is just for my pure nonsense at this point. What am I even talking about? I don't know. But, I mean, I keep it somewhat entertaining, so I mean, that's the main thing, right? Alright, that is that colour done. This is pretty good. I've made pretty good progress on this second row. I might do 3 rows for today. I feel like that'll be a pretty good, if I do 3, that'll be a pretty good stopping off point. I was going to do 2, but I'm getting through this fairly quick, so I might do 3, because that might be like maybe 2.5 hours, 3, somewhere close to that. I feel bad I haven't been live streaming recently, but it's been just due to being sick and then mentally being unwell. I think that's the worst thing, is just mentally not being well is the biggest hurdle to get over, and it's usually the one that I can't get over. So that's what kind of stopped me from live streaming for the past, like, it's actually been a couple weeks now, which is not good especially from like a numbers perspective. That's really not good. But yeah, it's been a bit of a rough ride, and I'm mostly going to blame work for it. I mean, there's been a few things personally, but for the most part, it's just been work that's been the main compounder of stress on me. And I mean, when you go into a big, like, these are 2 big companies merging. When you go into that, there's a lot of, like, backlog that you got to get through. And I mean, all of our systems, so I start work at 7 o'clock in the morning and I finish at 3. So our systems actually all shut down to do their thing at like 3:30 in the afternoon. So it's not long after I finish, but it's gonna be a big difference if people accidentally stay behind, because they might break something. I'm just like, whew, I don't have to worry about that because I finished well before then. So I've got my, well, you guys have seen it before, but I've got my bottle of, it's Molly's Irish Cream. So I've got that. So I'm going to have a bit of that tomorrow night to celebrate, one, the company I've been blessed to be a part of for 3 years. And no, that's not me sucking up. I genuinely love working for the company I work for, which is great. So closing like one chapter of that company and 3 years of being with that specific company, but also celebrating the fact that, hey, I've got 2 years guaranteed to be working with this new company, and there's going to be new areas that I can spread out to and new growth, and I can only see it getting bigger. I can't see them letting a lot of people go, unless they're like dead weight, but let's not get into negatives here because that's not the space to do it. I don't see them letting a lot of people go in that regard. I see them expanding more and more with what the aim of the company merges to do. So it's going to be massive, and there's going to be a lot of room to grow. And I mean, I'm already trying to do that with this secondment to this other team. And I feel like because I've just started working with the team I'm secondment with again, that I'm actually like retaining the skills I learned, which is great because I felt like I was losing them. And now I've finally, after about a week, I finally got my feet back on the ground, so to speak, in that team, which is fantastic for me. And I'm growing again in my developmental skills, which is what I want to do. I also want to one day, and it's going to take me a while to do it, but I want to be a team leader in the company. And the only way I can really do that is to make myself as indisposable as possible. So I already try to have like a really good culture in the team. I need to sort of organize a few more event kind of things, because mainly our company focuses on what's your culture like with the team, because the way I think of it is that anyone can be trained to be a team leader, but you've got to have the right personality to gel with as many people as you can. You can train everyone in the right skills. I'm sorry, I can't take the call. Oh, it's an O2 number. I don't know that number anyway. That's a Sydney number. I don't know that number. Did they leave a message? They did not leave a message. All right, it's a scam call. You can train anyone to be a leader, but you've got to have the right people skills to be able to do it. And while I say I'm antisocial and all that, I know how to talk to people and I know how to make them comfortable. It's just more my antisocial stuff is I'm not comfortable around people I don't know. But if I have to work, actively work with people, then I will make myself known and I'll make myself comfortable and friendly. Within this team that I'm working with currently, so the one I'm secondment to, they don't want me to leave. But at the same time, my old team kind of wants me back. So we're just like, what do I do? I might do in terms of my personal development, maybe extend my secondment if I can to this team. Because as well, I was helping out my old team for 2 or 3 months there. So it's been most of the time I've been gone. It's just been, it's not truly anyone's fault. It's just really bad timing. As well as just volume increases in work. So it's nobody's fault. It's just really bad timing on what's happening. But yeah, that's what I want to do. So who knows? Maybe that'll happen. Maybe it won't. Maybe I'll get opportunities in other teams. Or I can go into government like my mum is. So that'd be kind of cool. But I'd probably I'm only 25 now. I'm 26 this year. So I've still got a lot of time left in me. Because retirement age at this point is 67. But let's face it, by the time I'm at that age, it's probably going to be 80. Because you've got to basically work until you die nowadays, because the cost of living is going up so much. So yeah, I've still got plenty of time before I go into government or anything like that. I've got my way in with my mum. Sorry, Mum. I'm going to use you for that. She knows. She already knows. I love my mum. Of course I love my mum, but, you know, some people don't always get along with their mums or their dads or just people in general, so. And then I'll go L. Actually, I might finish up after this row because it's going to be, I don't want to get too sore of a back in this. I don't want to be like hunchback tomorrow, which is the last thing I want. So I got to look out for my physical health whenever I do these as well, because my chair's about as low as it can go. I don't think it can actually go any lower, so I tried to lower my chair and it wouldn't work, so it's unfortunate. And it's also unfortunate this table, isn't slightly higher, because that way I'm not like hunching myself over, because I want to avoid doing that if I can. So this, I feel like I'm doing pretty well with this though. I mean, it's only like 2 rows I've done, but you know, it's been a fairly easy time because a lot of these colors are kind of bulked together. There's not a lot of like spaces where it's like singular or like not many colors in one kind of thing. All of them are fairly bulked together, which is good. And the whole point, in case I didn't notice this, in case I didn't say this earlier, is that when you put these on, you want to cover the symbols as best as you can. For the most part with the symbols, they actually kind of match, the background kind of matches the color you're putting on there anyway. So it's really good that if you get like slightly misshapen symbols, they still kind of like align with where you're putting it. As well, because there's no like bumps or anything like that on these canvas kind of things, you can accidentally put your little dots just outside of these. And I mean, there's nothing too wrong with that unless you have a situation like I have over there, which I mentioned earlier. But with the symbols being a similar color to what you're putting down, it helps to make it look a little bit less out of place, which is good. But in saying that, when you've got like 26,000 of these little dots, I don't think you're really going to notice if one's out of place. You might if it's like way out of the stratosphere of where all the other colors of that region are, but you know, it doesn't happen. So they're all kind of grouped together how they're meant to be. So unless you went wild and crazy, which you probably wouldn't have enough colors to do anyway, unless you saved up colors from other diamond dots, then you know what, I think you're going to be fine with not seeing like 1 or 2 slightly misplaced dots here and there. And it happens, you can't line up everything perfectly. I mean, it's happening to me several times right now, so I can't do anything else, so do all the lines, which is 6, which is the next one. That worked out mighty well. That worked out mighty fine. Alright, this was 6, right? I'm just momentarily forgetting. Yeah, it is. And the reason why I always go back and I double check is just to make sure I don't start putting colors down the wrong places. I've done that before. To be fair, there've been colors that have been like basically the same shade, which is awesome, but it does happen every now and then, and you want to avoid that where you can. Because obviously some of the colors can be very like out there depending on where you put them. So if I put down, say, what's number 6? So number 6 is this one. If I put down by accident, because the plus is right next to one of these, if I put down 13, for instance, like that's a big difference that you're going to be able to see, because obviously that's a very big shade difference. So you can tell. So you just need to be careful with that. So I always like double check once I put all the colors onto my little tray here that I actually have put the right color on there, because I made that mistake once And I mean, I couldn't tell you on which one. I think it was like the first one I ever did, but I've never made that mistake again because I've always made sure that I don't make that mistake again, except for on that boy fairy that's behind me, because obviously I ran out of colours on the one colour because they didn't give me enough, so there wasn't enough in the bag, so I had to be forced to be creative with that and just use the closest shade that I could. So some bits are a little bit blocked together, which does kind of suck, but again, only so much I can do with that. What is 15? 15's that little arrow. I've got a couple of them. I can do this. Go. 15. Yep, it's that little arrow facing that way. There we go. And I'm gonna take a photo of what I've done and show you guys so you can see that there is a little bit of a systematic order to this. You'll be able to see it. I'm really sorry that I don't have a second camera to show you. That was the plan, and then obviously I don't have that second camera, so that's something I've got to invest in. But it's not a major thing right now. I mean, you guys can see that I'm still doing it, so yeah. What's the other symbol I need? It's just okay, so I just need 13. That wasn't nearly as many colours as what the last one was, which was good. Don't think we did... I did one for 11. Did I do 9? I did 9. Oh, I did use all the same colours in the row. Oh, that's a lot more than what I needed. Okay, they all kind of exploded out of the bag. Good for you. You all wanted to be free. Too bad. You're coming back into the bag in a minute. One there. And there's 2 for here. There are little, with these ones, you can get little, like, tweezers, so you can stick down multiple. I find that they don't work for me personally. So you can get either this little stylus, you actually get both tools. So you get the stylus and you get the little tweezers. I find personally the tweezers don't work for me. I can never get the right grip on just a singular diamond dot, let alone, like, multiple. So I'll actually use it if I need to, like, move anything. But that's when it's something like really stuck on there. For the most part, I can actually just move it with the stylus itself or my finger, like my nails. Back when I had nails, I've chewed them all off since then, which isn't good. Well, I've bitten them all off, I should say. Chewed is not the right verb for that. Or that verb. No, it's a verb. It's definitely a verb. So... let's get a... It's going to be kind of awkward to get a picture of this, so I'm really sorry. I'll go with like a small portion of it, so... God, I hate the white spaces on this. Well, not the white spaces, but where you can see the symbols. I hate it. I hate it. All right. I hope that this is like really like relaxing for you guys. I just want it to be. It doesn't always have to be like crazy kind of thing. It just sometimes, you know, it can be really relaxed. Also, just keep in mind as well that this is going to have the cover, the plastic on it. So, I mean, the good thing about those squares being no adhesive is that I don't have to worry about them drying out, because that's the whole point. Not that. I don't want that. I went to type progress into the email I'm sending myself. Oh, that is. I was going to say, did I just send that to my work email or to my personal email? I sent it to my work my personal email. I wouldn't say my work email. I gotta get my brain off of work. Let's turn that off. And then I actually have them in my emails, which is great. But it's sending over like 5 photos, so it's gonna be a little bit... I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this. This has been... I still have tea. Oh, this is gonna be cold. Yep, that's not good tea. That is not good tea. Ugh. Yeah, this has been... I love this. I really do. I absolutely love doing this kind of stuff. I hope that you guys enjoy it, like seeing this on like a live stream. Is there any way? Oh, I thought my keyboard was like right where my save photos. Did that just save one, really? Yeah, I think it just saved one. Okay. It's the issue with this is that I'm gonna do these all like individually, which sucks. But you know, only so much I can do. So my screen, like I said, is kind of far away, so it's a bit of a struggle for me to actually see what I'm doing, which again does kind of suck, but only so much I can do. Oh, it's just 4 photos. It's not 5, it's 4. My bad. I thought it was 4. It's actually, I thought it was 5. It's actually 4. That's all of them. Oh god, I love this music. It's so calming. Maybe else think this music is really calming, because I do. I think it's quite calming. Let's go image. Oh, actually, hang on. Oh, I forgot they're like massive when they first show up. I mean, I might just show you the one then in that case, because I don't want to have to edit all this, but you can kind of see it. The one bit there, so you can see the colors are a little bit different. Can't zoom in on that. All right, but you can see it. It's there. So that's that. Actually, is there a... I'm just loading something up. That one. Yeah, that one you can see. It's got the blank spots, but you can see it, so... I know, it's a sudden... It's like, ah, where'd that come from? Jump scare, kind of thing. This one you can see it a little bit better. So you can see versus the blank spots, like where the dots are, which is really nice. So that one you can see. Yeah, so it's 2 lines of doing that, basically. It's been a lot of fun. I've actually really enjoyed this live stream. I am going to go and it's 6:30 already. My God. It's been... Oh no, it's not 6:30. It's 3 past 6. I was looking at my phone upside down. Don't mind me. I'm a bit of a idiot today. It's late. I'm tired. In that case, because it's been a bit over 2 hours, I will actually end the stream here. So, why don't we go and find somebody to raid who is also doing a just chat art. Who's doing just a chat art live stream. Nope, that's... I forgot there's a game called Art. Craft. this girl's doing, Crafty Cat is doing a craft live stream. So let's go and raid her. I hope she speaks English, but if she doesn't, then she doesn't. Let's go. If you're on Twitch, don't forget to hit follow and turn notifications on so you know when I go live. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and share the video around. It really helps. I will see everyone later. Bye!